Did social media bring bad effect in invasion of privacy? In our modern lives, social media had many effects. There are a lot of positive effects. The first one is we can communicate to people much more easier. We can share our problems much more easily. There are securities in social media to protect our personal information, and there are more opportunities in making friends with social media. The first one, we can communicate much easier, is because that several decades ago we had a harder time to communicate with other people. Today, it's much more easier, and we can connect to other people more than before. The second one is that we can share our problems much more easily. With social media, we can share our problems our and expect to be given some solutions to the problems that we had. The third is there are securities in social media to protect our personal information. Social media had security because without them, then the public views the social media platform as untrustworthy. So it had to have a security. And lastly, the contrast for this is that there are more opportunities in making friends with social media. With social media, it's much more easier to find the people people with the same hobbies as us, and it's much more easier to interact with them.
So continuing from my other members' presentation, I will now bring supporting arguments to why social media can bring bad consequences to privacy. First, personal information in your social media account can be used for blackmailing. Second is that your social media account still not always secure. And third, anonymity allows people to commit bullying or cybercrime scot-free. And because of the anonymity of the internet gives, scamming can become very prevalent. The first one is that personal information can be leaked and therefore blackmailed or used in some manner that is malicious. If your account is in some cases breached, whoever is responsible for breaching or hacking that account can use this information to make whoever's possessing this account to do his bidding, and by threatening said information from their social media account. This can of course become deadly and incredibly dangerous. So take caution. Take caution and perhaps take some precautions is what I'm trying to say. Second is that your social media account can be breached still. Social media accounts are not always secure. They're still breachable, in matter of fact. There are still cases of it being hacked anywhere. So if you think your social media account's secure yet, it's not. It really isn't. You can take precautionaries like two-factor authentication because how much will benefit you in the long run. Without it, your account is fragile. It's not a perfect solution, but it can still help. The third one is that because of the nature of the internet, which is that everyone is anonymous unless stated otherwise, they can harass anyone they can without even facing consequences. They can do deplorable acts of crimes, like, of course, blackmailing, and perhaps even threatening on the internet, or bullying even. This is even worse, obviously, if you have your information, your private information stored in your social media account leaked. And because of the internet's anonymity, scamming is quite prevalent. It's because people do not always mean what it is that they will say in the internet, because we don't have physical contact with whoever is, let's say, a merchant. Because we don't see him, because we can't see him, we have to trust this unseen member, this unseen merchant. We have to be very cautious in that scamming can become a thing. You should make note with prices that seem a little too high, or the merchant suddenly making offer that's a bit too good to be true, and all the likes of that. I suppose that's all I could present for you. Me and my other friend, Jeff. Thank you. I do apologize for the mistakes I've made. So yes.